You're here to translate.
Actually, I'm here to interpret.
John, you have tallies approaching.
Well, I went back down.
For 3 weeks, this family believed you were dead. We owe that man your life.
There wasn't enough for him to carry me across those mountains. Now he's hiding in a hole somewhere. I should be in that hole.
You could send me back
Everything all right, John?
No, everything's not all right.
There is a hook in me. Ahmed and his family are in trouble. We can't intervene.
I am gonna have to get him out myself.
Listen, you're gonna be alone. You gotta adapt. Use what you got.
If you can give me the location, I can get him out of the country.
It's too dangerous. You've become very popular with the Taliban.
I miss you. Love you, Daddy. Love you, Daddy.
You think if I could be free of this debt, I wouldn't be?
You think I have a choice?
There is no choice.
No, I won't.
The Covenant. Premieres Saturday, March 23rd, 9 p.m. on HBO.
Hello, I'm Tracy Pa with the news update. The Papua New Guinea Defence Force has acknowledged recent discrepancy in salary payment to its service personnel. Acting Chief of Defence Commodore Philip Polewara, in a statement issued Wednesday, said they understand the significant impact this issue has on their valued members and their families, and sincerely apologized for any inconvenience caused. Polewara said the PNGDF is committed to ensuring its personnel receive the correct entitlements promptly. PNGDF is working diligently with key government institutions, including the Department of Personnel Management and the Department of Finance, to identify and rectify the cause of this discrepancy as quickly as possible. The PNGDF remains dedicated to the well-being of its personnel and to fulfilling its vital role in protecting Papua New Guinea's national security. President of the Port Moresby Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Rio Fiaco, says the industry body is in constant discussions with Chief Secretary Ivan Pamelio on government assistance packages for business affected in the riots of January 10, 2024. During a business breakfast event at the Stanley Hotel Wednesday morning, Fiaco said a trust account to receive the government's agreed contribution for the employee retention amount of approximately 40 million kina will be established upon clearance from the state solicitor. He explained that the government's scheme will pay 500 kina fortnightly to business affected by the riots that are unable to keep their workers employed. That scheme will run for 6 months, starting from the start of January 10, 2024. Fiaco added that if the government doesn't satisfactorily resolve these matters, legal action will likely follow from these affected businesses, and if it's successful, the ultimate bill to the government will exceed 1 billion kina. NCD City Manager Ravu Frank has apologized to Port Moresby residents for the delay in rubbish collection. Frank explained that the long delay of waste collection was due to the inability of the contractor. NCDC is addressing the issue. It has engaged 6 new waste collection contractors to begin servicing city residents starting April 1st.
The waste and then place it at the dump so that the waste is not at the houses. I will later on send an official apology to the residents for the delay in collecting of waste.
Handover Hinley JV PNG Investment Construction has defended itself following recent media reports on the sewage outflow between Butibam village and Balob in Lae Morobe province. It was alluded that the division of traffic into the footpath during roadworks on the Butibam-Malahang road resulted in a crashed manhole, which eventually led to the pollution by untreated sewage on Butibam Road. On February 19th, the sewage leakage was first cited by the contractor and reported immediately to Water PNG. However, 10 days later, Water PNG did an inspection. Project engineer Peter Garalom said the issue should not have turned into a blame game. Instead, action was needed to rectify it. The sewage issue was resolved on Monday, 18th March. Pacific Industries Limited, renowned for bottling Pepsi Cola in Papua New Guinea, is excited to announce its sponsorship of the momentous 50th anniversary of the Hiri Moale Festival. Valued at 45,000 kina, Pacific Industries joined a bronze sponsor and an official beverage sponsor for this revered cultural event. Director Everett Claw underscores Pacific Industries' commitment to cultural promotion, stating that IP's own heritage traces back to pre-World War II and deeply understands the significance of promoting culture and tradition to ensure the legacy continues for generations to come. On Wednesday, a dummy check was presented to the HMF committee, symbolizing the company's commitment to heritage presentation and cultural pride in PNG. In regional news, scientists rehoming a group of platypuses in the Royal National Park south of Sydney have located a new 6-month-old baby platypus.
A mere 850 grams of semi-aquatic perfection. This is the first known platypus juvenile to be born in the waterways of the Royal National Park since they disappeared over 50 years ago.
We were like over the moon. It was just amazing, and it was so rewarding, and so again like very humbling to be part of this mammoth effort.
She's believed to be a child of one of the 6 female and 4 male platypuses rehomed into the Hacking River last May as part of the state's first ever translocation project.
Before this project started, we confirmed that there weren't any platypuses here. She's here to call the Royal National Park her home.
Hopeful of a successful breeding season last year, researchers conducted a weekend of nighttime surveys, but finding the mammal is no small task.
It's really looking for a needle in a haystack.
Last August, thick black sediment from Metropolitan Colliery contaminated Camp Gully Creek upstream, threatening the park's biodiversity. Fortunately, there was no immediate harm to the platypuses.
We have this terrible irony here where we have the oldest running coal mine in Australia operating right next to Australia's oldest national park. At some point we have to ask ourselves, which do we value more?
The proof is in this project that the water quality is better than it was, and that it is able to hold and look after platypus in the wild. That's why this project is so important.
The government says it will legislate stronger powers for the environmental watchdog, which can't come soon enough for the state's future puggle population.
In sports, it's double trouble for the Brisbane Broncos, who will be without skipper and halfback Adam Reynolds and superstar prop Pine Ants for their grand final rematch after the veteran playmaker aggregated a knee injury last week. It's a significant blow for our Broncos side without their player. Jock Madden has been named in its place, while Pat Carrigan will take on the captain duties. Hunt has been ruled out of the grand final rematch after losing the race to recover from a knee injury. The Victorian Auditor General's Office has found the abundant Commonwealth Games cost the state more than $589 million. The report also found the government's stated cost estimate to all the games of $6.9 million was overstated and not transparent.
Million on top of the compensation paid to Games organisers.
It's not a good look for government to be spending that sort of money on a no result.
The Auditor-General slammed the government's handling of the axed event, saying this waste would have been avoided if agencies had worked together to give frank advice to the government before it decided to host the Games.
I will be raising these matters with the Secretary of the Department of Premier and Cabinet.
In 2022, the government announced it would host the regional Victorian event at a cost of $2.6 billion. 15 months later, it pulled out, saying that figure had blown out to nearly $7 billion. But the watchdog says while the initial budget was unrealistically low, the final cost was exaggerated. The cost estimate for the Games of $6.9 billion was overstated and not transparent.
The Auditor-General says the waste of more than $500 million of taxpayer money on an event that didn't happen is even more significant because of the state's skyrocketing debt. But the Premier is standing by the decision.
The costs were only going one way.
Commonwealth Games Australia insists there's still a chance for the event to be held on home soil, using $200 million from the $380 million Victoria paid in compensation to attract a new host.
The CGF, our international body, are in discussions, detailed discussions with 4 options across 3 continents, and I can't today reveal those to you.
But time is running out. Bridget Rollison, ABC News.
That's been the Midday News. Join us at 6 for more.